sex and relationship coach, Caitlin B. And today I want to talk to you about how to get verbal consent without losing attraction. Now, I know this isn't like the sexiest topic, but if you've been watching the news at all recently or just haven't been living under a rock, you know that people, men, from all areas of professional life, whether that's television or politics, are being accused of sexual harassment. And their careers and lives and marriages are being ended as a result of these accusations. I know that most men do not want to come into any kind of contact with women that is inappropriate or unwanted. I know that these men represent a small percentage of all men. I also know that the stakes are really, really high, and I want to give you all of the tools that you need to make sure that any contact that you're having with any of your female partners or any people in general is wanted, joyous, pleasurable, enthusiastic, and consent-based. Consent is needed any time that you would alter someone else's experience. So whether that means you're gonna blow an air horn in their face, or start a campfire next to their tent, or touch them sexually, you're altering someone's experience. So this is a great tool to use that takes kind of some of the fire and confusion and clarity and gray thinking out of consent. If you're gonna alter someone else's experience, you need to ask their permission. And their answer to you needs to be an enthusiastic yes. It's not enough to get a maybe. It's not enough to get a, oh, I guess that's fine, or if you really want to. That's not consent. That's someone who's being polite, doesn't want to hurt your feelings, okay? If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. That is just the best rule to use in order to make sure that you are never accused of harassing or assaulting or even coming into unwanted contact with another person. So don't let this idea of consent scare you. It's really just that simple. And something that you might have to keep in mind is that you might have to back down, back off, accept that they're not willing to say no, and then say no for yourself on their behalf. Like if you ask someone if they want to do something, whether that's they want a hug or they want to go out to dinner, and they don't give you a firm yes, value yourself and respect yourself enough to say, you know what, then we're not going to do it. So if you're on a date with a woman and you move in to say, hey, can I kiss you? And she goes, yeah. Have enough self-respect to say, you know what? I'm glad that you were honest. I don't want to kiss you until you really want to kiss me. That raises your value, gentlemen. Actually, that's going to make you look more like the prize in her eyes. It actually puts a lot of power back into your hands. So consider about how you can show yourself some respect and also show her some respect. And also demonstrate to her that just because your date isn't escalating in that way doesn't mean that it's not over, doesn't mean that you're not interested. It actually means that you respect you both and that you're going to hold that standard for both of you. Let's clear up one horrible, awful lie that we've all been sold, and that is that by talking about it, you take the mystery out of it. Or it's not as sexy or as fun if you bring it up and actually say it to your partner. Whether that's, can I kiss you? Are you okay with this? Do you want to go further? Can I go down on you? Whatever it is, this is a bold-faced lie, and somehow all of us came to believe it. It doesn't take the sexy out of sex when you use your words. It just doesn't. In fact, nothing turns me on more than when someone actually vocalizes exactly what they want to do to me. It starts the gears turning, and you know, for women especially, this is the biggest sex organ. So you start that process of thinking, oh, this is what he wants to do to me. Oh my gosh, oh, and he's asking me if I'm into it as well? Yes, I'm totally into it. I'm an enthusiastic yes. Or I'm able to come back and say, you know what? I'm not quite ready for that, or I'm not quite interested in that, but you know what I would be interested in? Maybe some more deep kissing. Maybe some more time spent giving each other oral sex. Maybe it gives you an opportunity to share your thoughts with your partner, cluing them in on your mental process, which is hot, and it allows them to give you feedback so that you know, so that you're clear that you're into it, they're into it, it feels good, we're moving forward. One other thing that you can just throw out right now, a common misconception, is that this is an area where the golden rule applies. Now, I'm not saying that the golden rule absolutely doesn't apply here, but it's not enough for you to base your decisions based on the golden rule. So, if you're thinking to yourself, well, I wouldn't mind if she did it to me, it's not the same. Men and women are different. Our bodies, our needs, our desires, our arousals, they're different. In fact, just consider how you can honor yourself, honor your partner, and honor the context that you're in. So, what does that mean? Context. You're in a public place. The rules are different between you and a partner in a public place than you and them at their home. Rules are different if this is your third date and you've already had some sexual contact, you've already had some conversations, versus if this is your first date. And of course, the rule is never ever touch anybody in the workplace, ever. I mean, I like to give hugs, and I am like the consent hug queen of Chicago. I will ask you for a firm yes before I even so much as reach out my arms to give you a squeeze. And yes, I love hugs. And yes, this makes every hug that I give better because I know that the other person wanted it. Nothing is worse than giving a hug to someone who like shrivels up and closes down, and you have to go through that and knowing that you did that to them. I don't like it. I don't get involved in it. It's okay to ask permission for even something as simple as a hug. And in the workplace, probably just don't even do that. Just play it safe. Just like don't touch people, okay? It's like just don't do it. And don't just think that you can read body language on this. It's not enough to just read body language. It's so much better to ask for a clear yes, a clear no, use your words. Don't trust your intuition. Don't trust that your body language is. I know, it's really hard because we expect you as men to make the first move, to escalate physical touch. In fact, a lot of women want to feel desired, and that's one way that they feel desired is by a man groping for them, right? I know, I get it. It is really tough. The truth is that our culture has done a great disservice to men as well as women. You know, if you ask women that you're with, what kind of experiences have they had that really squicked them out or made them feel creepy or icky? I'm sure that every woman in your life will have some stories to tell you. And I'm sure that as you're hearing those stories, you're going to go, wait, that kind of stuff doesn't happen when I'm around, or other men don't do that to women in front of me. Yeah, they don't. It's not your fault. Other men have come along and done all kinds of crazy and creepy stuff to the women in your life. And if you want to, go and ask questions so that you can become more conscious of the kind of physical touch and the kind of stuff that creeps women out. I'm sure that there are women in your life who will be open to sharing it with you. And when they share that with you, make sure that you're listening with curiosity. Resist the temptation to fix it or tell them how they could have done better or should have done differently. Just listen. Because it's not your job to fix it. You can't fix it. The only thing that you can do is be accountable for your own behavior. Speak up when you see another man doing something that you know is a violation of consent or doesn't feel right with you. And be a wonderful and positive example of a man who knows how to touch women, who knows how to ask them before he touches them, who knows how to provide pleasurable experiences for them, because he's conscious of what he's doing, how he's doing it, and whether or not it's consensual. So, in recap, verbal consent can be hot. It actually is hot. In fact, telling a woman how you want her, that you want her, women are language-driven creatures. We love to talk. Talk about the dirty stuff you want to do to us. Ask us if that's okay. And if we say, hell yes, go ahead and do it. If we say maybe, it's fine, tell her that she's got to wait for it. Alright, this is Sex Coach Caitlin B. Subscribe to my channel. I know this is a pretty serious video. You guys are awesome. Stay tuned for even more videos on how to please women, how to be amazing lovers, how to last longer in bed, and probably some other stuff that you should avoid from time to time. I love you guys.